Hi, this is Cheryl St.Pierre of Majestic Wire Artworks. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these ear wires so that you can make a matching pair of earrings to the Delicate Heart tennis bracelet. And of course, you don't have to use it to make that type of earring, but it gives you that option. So I'm just going to concentrate on making the ear wires, and then you can take over from there as to what you want to put underneath. So as per normal, I have your supply list just for the ear wires in the description below. And so let's begin. So what you're going to need is 2 pieces 4-inch lengths of 20 gauge wire, and of course I'll have the metric written in the description as well. And we're gonna make the heart, which you will, if you've made the bracelet, you'll know how to do this part. So just start with making your spiral. So I've got that little curve, and I'm going to crimp it down a little bit and then crimp it back to tighten it in. Hopefully it stays in focus. Okay, so I've got the little center part ready there, and now I'm grabbing it and pushing against my thumb and bending it. And it's just a little bit at a time. It's not fast. Okay. I'm looking at the screen every so often. I'm not sure if I'm staying in focus there. Okay. So I pay attention as to where the end of the spiral is in the center, and I want it facing this direction of the heart. Now, I am using some leftover links that I made from the bracelets that were smaller. So you might be doing too, because I had mentioned to keep the links, and these ones are a tiny bit smaller than what was in the bracelet. So I want to make this heart on purpose a little bit smaller to match. Okay, so if that's hard for you to do, then just try and make all yours the same by putting a piece of a line of marker to be consistent about where you're gonna make the bottom of your heart. I recommend you watch the other tutorial too. I'll put the link for the other tutorial in this tutorial. And so the next thing you need to do, so that's the bottom of the heart right there, is you're going to take your round nose pliers and stay in focus there. Okay. And you're going to try and eyeball it, and of course you're going out of focus again. Okay, and then try and eyeball this so that it's about the same size as the spiral we just made. So and then we're going to wrap it around like this. And I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, and mine isn't, I don't think. No, it's a little high. See how it's high? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it down like this to lower that. And if it was too low, then you would roll it upwards. And it tends to bend this wire here a little bit, and then you would just straighten that. It's going to take a little bit of practice. So this one's really tiny. It might be too small. Oh, that's the wrong. Let's compare it. Whoops. It's comparable. It's a little bit too small. Oh, but it matches that one. Okay, so they're all gonna have slight variations, but again, you gotta remember, this is handmade, so it's not gonna be perfect. So the next thing you gotta do is we gotta make the wire go upwards, and we're gonna do this part behind at the back of the spiral. You're gonna grab the smallest part of your round nose pliers and pinch it there. So pinching it there, and now I'm going to bend this around so that the wire, so this is the front again, is touching that part or not quite touching it. Okay, I'm going to move my tools from the background. So this is what it looks like from the back. Okay, and now I'm taking my thumbnail and we're going to try and bend it upwards in the center. So it looks like this, and that's sloppy at this point, but that we just need that movement. You can't get your pliers in there properly in order to do it. That's why I use my thumbnail. And now, and then you refine the bend, and with your pliers you can adjust it to be center, and you can pinch this together again if you need to and make it perpendicular, and that looks pretty good. And then straighten this out. So I have now perfected what length you need from the bottom of the top of your heart, rather, the bottom of the ear wire. We need to measure 1.5 inches and snip it off there at that point. So I'm going to measure 1.5 inches. Okay. And now I'm going to take a file that's meant for artificial nails, so it's kind of got the rough grid, and you're going to round out, because this is the end of your ear wire, and you want to make it nice and round, no sharp edges to cut the inside of your ear. You know, some people say, I'm allergic to copper, and it could be basically that they've worn a pair of copper ear wires that wasn't properly rounded and scraped them, and no matter what wire it would have been, they probably would have gotten a bit of an ear infection, so they automatically think, I can't wear copper. But they say, I've read studies that you can't be allergic to copper because your body needs copper. You have copper in your blood. Your brain can't function without copper. Wearing copper is the best way to get more copper into your system, because your body will only take what it needs. And when other people think that when their skin turns black or green from wearing copper, that means they're having a reaction to it. And no, that's not what it is. That's when your body is in lack of copper and is absorbing it. That's what it does. See, I wear a copper bracelet and it only leaves a ring on me sometimes. So there's nothing there. And probably because I work with copper so much, I get my copper fill. That's for sure. So, okay, that's good. So we've got this straightened. What I've been doing, and I've been yakking away, I'm sorry about that. I want you to work harden it a bit, straighten it like this. But now we're really going to work harden it. You're going to take your anvil and hammer. Now I've got my roll of wire here. I'm using it as a stand. Last time I used index cards because it was paper, and it would make it so that it wasn't as noisy. But I wasn't as thoughtful, and with preparation for that, I had this on hand. So I want you to hammer it until your wire is nice and firm. And I'm going to do, we're going to do more hammering later as well. And I'm going to try not to do as much on camera because it's noisy. Okay, so the next step is to take a measurement from the bottom of the ear wire, the top of the heart, to where we're going to put a bend, and we want 8 millimeters, and my pliers just happen to be 8 millimeters at its widest point. And then we're going to make sure that this heart is flat, and we're going to push. This is the front, and we're pushing down. So this direction, and I actually bent more than I really want to. We just want the slightest little bend, and what that is a place to put your pencil where we're going to bend the ear wire. So it's just the pencil locks into that position right there. You're going to hold your thumb against there, and you're going to wrap the wire around like that. Okay, now I want you to take your chain nose pliers and give that a pinch. Okay, and we want everything to sit straight. So we're going to be straightened, and we're going to lock that curve in place. I mean, we're going to be bending it again, but it helps work harden it. Now my heart is a little bit off, and I mean, we're going to fine tune that. We got to make sure it's perpendicular, and it's best to do that part now. Whoops, I'm off camera. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now, and we have some modifications to do. So you're going to take your round nose pliers, and my round nose pliers aren't very large here. I'm going to use the largest point I can, but you'll figure out where you want it. And I want you to take it and have it at the top of the heart. And I don't think my heart is sitting right, so I'm going to adjust that. Yeah, you want your heart sitting accurately at this point. So now I'm going to take my round nose pliers at the top of the heart, and I've got this, and I'm going to push it forward, not too much. Okay, like that. Okay, so it's got a similar shape to some of those ear wires you buy. I'm going to do a little bit more. Okay, when it kind of looks like those ear wires you buy, then you know you got the shape right. I don't like that shape per se, but then we want to take your pencil, hold it in that against your thumb in the locking position from the front of that curve, and we're going to push it so that the ear wires bend down now. So now it looks like that. Okay, and then all that's left to do is your little curve here, and you just want to make sure both of your ear wires are, and you can make them separately at this point, because the pre-measurement of 1.5 inches will make it so that they're automatically the same length. And if this is slightly different on your ear wires, it's not going to matter to look, but you'll be able to, and if you're not happy with it, you can just straighten it and bend it a different length. And voila, that ear wire is complete. My heart still looks a little off to me. I'm going to do a minor adjustment. I'm going to grab it like that and bend it with my thumb and bend it till I'm happy. And now I'm going to pinch all the curves like this. It's going to work harden it some more. If you want, you can take your hammer and anvil, and you hold the heart at the edge like that, and you can hammer it both sides. And we're doing it gently, right? And it is complete. And then you just make more. And that's all there's to it. So the next step that I'm doing is I'm taking 2 of my links that match the tennis bracelet. And I've got some green colorized 6mm crystals that I'm using. Seems to be my favorite. And just put it on. So with the heart, you can't do multiple dangles because it's a fine point. So you could, the only thing it's limiting you to is that you're just having one wire dangling from it, but that still gives you oodles of options. Because if you really wanted to, you could do jump ring or something to give you the room to add more items to it. But there you go. It's a pretty sweet little ear wire, and I love those earrings. And if you want to do shoulder dusters, you just do it longer. There's lots of people that love that kind of thing. And if you wanted, you could do chain and then something big at the bottom. So a big heart, a big bead. What would look really good on these tennis bracelets too for Valentine's Day is you could buy those 8mm pressed glass check beads. I have some in red. I think they're multiple. They have them in multiple colors. So yeah. Use your imagination, let it fly, and have fun. Okay, thank you for joining me in this video, and I will see, God bless, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.